Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be introduced to royalty. Margaret Louise Carter is an Oregon politician, much more than that, who was a Democratic member of the Oregon Legislature Assembly from 1985 to 1989. From 2001 to 2009, she was the first Black woman elected to the state's legislature as its first Black senator. Senator Carter earned her BA in Education from Portland State University and her Master's in Education and Psychology from Oregon State University. I want you to do something really great. I want you to show her the love that she deserves today. So I'm going to ask you to get up on your feet and give a rousing round of applause to our Senator, Miss Margaret Carter.
To Ken Berry and all of those other, Ken, where are you? And Michael Price and all of those other people, there he is. Give Ken Berry a big hand tonight. And let me tell you why I say that. 40 plus years ago, 40 plus years ago, a wonderful crew of people, along with Ken Berry as the leader, brought people together in Northeast Portland and said, let's talk about our landmarks. Let's get our people together and give each other strength and build each other up and make each other feel good about the contributions that we are making in Oregon. Because there was no other place, and it reminded me as a kid growing up in Shreveport, Louisiana, the only place we had to have anything was in the church. And people talk about the Black church today. Why you guys do all that stuff in the Black? Because we didn't have no place to go earlier. Because we were denied the right and the privilege to do so. So it's important because Ken Berry and that group of people that were with him introduced to future generations the leadership of this community, and told them then it is important for you to see who's doing what in this community, because I want you to learn to be followers. And if you don't teach people, they don't know how to follow. And so it's important in their work and what they have done, because it's the thing that here in the 41st year, you and I are still enjoying. But we have some work to do, folk. It is really important that this subject, passing the torch, is given the spotlight in which these guys are doing today, that the Times World Health Foundation, that the Times World Arts Foundation, that the Times are calling for the next generations to take the torch and lead us forward. Now, if you don't think that's important, something is wrong. Because without leaders, we get blind and fall by the wayside. And we need leaders that's keeping us up on the data and what is happening in our community. We wouldn't have known about George Floyd if that young lady hadn't been there with her camera to take the picture. You don't know what's happening to our schools unless our educators and those that are watching the schools tells us what's going on. And it's very important that we know that information. And it is very appropriate that this subject is given today in the manner in which it is. How many young people are here that were allowed to work and learn and do what this program does? I know Ken can lead this program and think very good. He and Michael, you know, they're not as old as I am because I'm 87, but they cannot. They can say that they have taught another generation to come along and carry on the work that is given to us today. And if you don't think this work is important, just listen as I give you some few pointers. Dr. King called all of us in future generations to get ready for the calling. And you can't get ready unless you've had some kind of background in education and learning what leadership is all about. It's why the World Arts Foundation did what they did in training our young people. And now we have the third, can you believe that? In 40 years, a third generation is now taking over and doing this work. Now, if that isn't a compliment, come on, you guys, don't be stingy with your hand clap. Come on, give them credit for what they did. Because some of us ain't gonna never do nothing, so I know, I'm talking about some of us, I'm not talking about all of us. This is important because they're still focusing on education. And kudos to Portland Public Schools and KGW Channel 8, who started off helping them with this program. And I'm telling you, Channel 8, by the way, really does good community service in our community. And I want to give them a hand. Give Channel 8 a hand. Thank you. Because of the technological and scientific advancement that is going on in our world and our state today, it is important that you and I rededicate ourselves to helping our children stay in school. It is so important that they have the opportunity to learn and to be savvy and highly skilled about where they go in the future. And let me tell you this, young people, leadership is calling you. It is calling you to challenge yourselves and stay in school to secure an education that will allow you to serve in any capacity that you're called upon to do. I didn't know how to be the president of Urban League, but guess what? I had other skills that taught me what to do in terms of management. So therefore, you need to be exposed to all levels of education, be it as a volunteer or as a person who is going to school to learn how to get the work done. Our community recognizes that our sons are in trouble. Why you guys got me up here acting like this? You know our sons are in trouble. Gun violence is taking them away every week. And what are we doing? Fentanyl is killing our boys by the days. They're in trouble. Now, whether you know it or not, I'm telling you it's a fact, and you can go do your research like I have done it. Because when I speak, baby, you guys gonna always question me, and I will tell you where I got the information. It's very important that you receive this statement. Our boys are in trouble. Too many of our young people are dropping out of both high school and college, and that is not good for our future. It's not good for our future because they will lack leadership skills and stick-to-itiveness by what they do. I further challenge our community to renew our commitment to after-school programs and activities that becomes an alternative to the streets. You can't fight the streets unless you have an alternative. Our boys have too many times, it's time for me to leave. Our boys have too many times to be in the street. And so we have to challenge that. We have to be there to say the time has come and I'm your mama, and as long as I'm taking care of you, you're gonna stay in school.
Senator Margaret Carter talking to us about our young men and our boys having a schoolhouse to jailhouse pipeline. We need to stop it. We need to protect them. And thank you for speaking up for our boys and our men, because we don't have folks speaking up for them. I got one of them. And I know what that looks like. And I'm looking around the room today. I'm looking at a beautiful room of people who are excited and energized. And I used to work for Congressman Wyden back in the 90s. And one of the things, the first time I staffed him, he was going to an event in downtown Portland on the waterfront. And he was to speak after Senator Carter. And Senator Carter got up and she spoke one of the most rousing speeches that I had heard her speak, and then she began to sing. And so afterwards, the senator goes up and he was a congressman at the time, and he scratches his head and he said, wow, how do I go behind that? And so we got in the car and he said, don't you ever let me go behind Senator Margaret Carter again.